Good day, everyone, and welcome to today's VM Products webinar, Breakthrough Rodent Control Products to Help Your Business Succeed. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. Here's a quick review of what you will see on your screen. To the left of your screen is the viewer, which is where you see the presentation. To the right is the control panel where you can ask questions. The control panel will collapse automatically when not in use. To keep it open, you can click the View menu and uncheck Auto Hide Control Panel. You have joined this webinar in listen-only mode, which means you are muted. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions by typing your questions into the questions pane of the control panel. You may send in your questions at any time during the presentation, and we will address them during the Q&A session at the end of today's presentation. Today's presenter is Ethan Vickery. He is the co-founder and CEO of VM Products, which has patented over 20 reliable products for pest management professionals. Ethan graduated from the University of Texas in Arlington back in 1996 and has been in the pest control industry for the past 23 years. With that, I'll turn it over to Ethan to get us started.
Okay, thank you guys for joining us today. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to go over a couple new products, both of which we've been working on for quite some time. And so we do appreciate you being here. So I will start by running through the presentation. So we obviously VM Products, I think probably a lot of people on the call know who we are, but we have a relentless commitment for the innovation for the industry and helping our customers thrive, and we're committed to the professional pest control industry. It is the business that we spend all of our time in, and we put a lot of effort into this industry, and we really appreciate our customers. Very exciting. We've actually just here shortly going to be in business for 20 years. Time moves quickly, so we have been in the business for quite some time. We try to run the business on, some key points in addition to the quality of our products. Direct access. Our team is very accessible. We work extremely hard to get product out the door, not only quickly, but with the quality that the customer expects. And then we put a lot of time, effort, and energy into our communication, the education that we put out into the field. And we're always looking for great feedback on how we can be better at all of these things. So Chris did mention we have about 20 patents that are more than 20 patents in the U.S. Patent Office and also in other countries around the world. So we do take innovation seriously, and we put a lot of effort in not only the products that we make, but the time that you have to do to prepare for them, and then the long term of keeping that product in the marketplace. We're very proud of the fact that almost everything we do is made in the United States. We're in Arlington, Texas, not too far from where the Dallas Cowboys play. And so we are an American-made product line, and extremely proud of that. So we have a full line of product. Our first product was obviously the Easy Secure, or excuse me, the Easy Clean, then became the Easy Secured, which is the original weighted rodent bait station. And our product portfolio continues to grow as we continue to innovate in the industry. So we're going to be talking about two of those new products today. So our first new product is the Easy Cat. This product is something that we've been working on for quite some time. We've gone through, would be our third revision of a multi-catch trap for mice and insects that is plastic and not metal. And so we started out, and probably nobody remembers this product, with the Easy Mover, and then we did the Easy Force, which is still a product that we sell. It's a good product, but now we have the Easy Cat, and the Easy Cat is got some unique features to it that we will go through. Why did we create the Easy Cat? We wanted to have a durable multi-catch station. We wanted no sharp edges, no moving parts, and we wanted to get the rodent into the station quick, and also address insects too as well. So we had some, key pillars of what we wanted in the product when we went to develop this product, looking at the category not just for commercial and audited accounts, but also residential too as well. So you'll see in the benefits that we've got that we think we did that. The big part of this station that is the biggest innovation is we have built-in ramps into the lid of the station. The ramps allow us to create a deadfall for rodents to end up on the middle of the glue board and or insects onto the middle of the glue board. And so this is something that allows us to be a glue board station without a trapping device, so to speak, and a teeter-totter system or some sort of trap door, but then still get the multi-catch aspect, and then also work extremely well for insects. So if you see the ramps are built into the lid and they mate into the base, and this picture shows you where the insect and the rodent end up on the middle of the glue board, not on the beginning of the glue board. So that was probably the most difficult thing we had to do. There was a lot of work built into the geometry of the lid and the station, making everything mate together, as well as the production of the part itself was somewhat difficult to figure out how we were going to produce the product and get it to market in a quality manner. So one of the nice parts about it is we're using the standard TC glue boards that are used throughout the commercial and residential industry. We lock that glue board into the base. So it's a very nice tight fit. So when it comes to stations getting kicked around, moved around, the glue boards are designed, or the station's designed in such a way that the glue boards are held into place, which is nice, so that the glue board doesn't fall around, get stuck to the lid or the ramps, etc. So one of the features that we went through to try to add to the station to make it easier to service. One of the big things we did with this is we did a push lock, and the lid opens from right to left. That push lock allows for quick and easy service. So you just walk up, hit the push lock, and that unlocks the station, allows you to open it and service it quickly. So in commercial accounts, audited accounts, things like that, that really matters. So the push lock made for a nice, simple, easy way to service the station, but at the same time keep the lid shut. And so the push lock is a nice addition. It's the first time we've done this, and so far we've had great feedback from the people who looked at it. That being said, there's times when you want the key, so the push lock actually snaps out, and you can use the VM universal key that's in our stations and the rest of our products. So if you do want a key that's on your keychain with this product, you can actually just snap the push lock out and use the key. It does come standard with the push lock, so if you don't want it, you just pop it out and use the VM key. So it gives you options on either way. Again, the lid opens from right to left, makes it easy to open and easy to service, and also keeps the station very close to the wall too as well. So you can see that there. We are going to talk about Arizonics in the next presentation, but before we get there, you can see this picture. We can accommodate one of our other new products, the Arizonics caps, to for the monitoring process, which we'll get to how that product works here shortly. One of the big pieces that we did with this product that we felt like had validity was to make it fit into a skid. Oftentimes, especially in clean out environments where with mice, you've got mice living in a small space and they're living in the skid environment. Having a product that you could slide into the skids for catching of mice and insects, we felt like there was an opportunity to make that a benefit that would be valuable to the industry. So it does fit into your standard skids too as well. The guide walls, which is in a lot of the products that we make, when it's up against the wall, we're pushing both rodents and insects into the station. This is a great angle too as well, where you can see that the mouse can see all the way through the station. As the mouse is using that runway, the wall, or the insect is using that runway, there is a simplified format here of these ramps where they just end up walking directly into the station, dropping down directly onto the glue board. One of the other things we did with this product, and this is a very popular product, especially in Europe, is the back-to-back snap traps. There's a lot of names for them. A lot of A lot of the facilities I've personally visited in Europe, as opposed to teeter-totter systems, will have back-to-back snap traps to try to catch the mice running. So what we did with this is we actually have a snap trap that incorporates our locking mechanism into it. And they lock into place in a back-to-back format, so that you do have a covered snap trap station with this product too as well, if you'd like to. So the way you would use this is you would take the ramps out, you would pop the ramps out, and you would purchase the snap trap, and that snap trap would just lock into place, as you guys can see here. So all of our products come with a sequential barcode for scanning for software. So you have the barcode built into the lid, makes it easy for your software scanning and tracking of the device, as well as activity and servicing. One of the other things we have is we have an optional securing wall mount with double-sided foam tape that comes standard with it, so it's already applied to it. That allows you to apply that to the wall, and then lock the trap into place. The lid closes over the top of the wall mount, and then it's ideal if you want to put your numbering system on that too as well. You can do that, so you can do the numbering slash documentation of the multi-catch if you want to use the securing wall mount. A couple benefits at the end is obviously the durability of the trap. With existing traps that are out there in the multi-catch world, they have a tendency to get damaged. And so the durability of our station, we put a lot of thought and effort into making everything rounded corners, rounded edges. The thickness of the plastic is extremely durable product. And so it is, from a durability perspective, going to last in the field. And then it's all plastic. So from a rust perspective, you don't have a rust issue. And then we have designed it in such a way too, where we are trying to keep as much water out of the glue board space as possible. So that is another benefit too as well. So we have left a nice open spot too. Oftentimes products like this need labeling on top. So there's a nice flat area for the labeling if you are putting labels on the top of the trap itself. And then lastly is private label is available. So we have a single pallet order, and I'm going to say this wrong, but I'm fairly certain it's 672 stations on a skid, and you're able to private label the product. And so the private label option is available for this too as well. The snap trap, this is a Kness snap trap that is got a product code with our retaining plug built into the trap. The Ceres has that in the system. That's the number for it. So if you did want to use it for a back-to-back snap trap station, then snap trap is in stock and easy to purchase. Okay, we're going to move on to Airzonics. This is a product that we've been working on for some time now. Really excited about this product. It's a rodent monitor built for snap traps and for other purposes too as well. We currently have two flavors, peanut butter with chocolate and chicken. Peanut butter with chocolate being the most popular by far, but chicken having a good application too as well. Let's talk a little bit about how Airzonics works and what it is. So why do we create Airzonics? We felt like there is a need for non-food-based rodent monitors. There are some products in Europe that are similar to this product, but we really wanted to have something that was, the industry standard that would fit a profile, which was non-food based rodent monitoring, create a monitor that insects didn't eat, and so it was not actual food. Also create something that pushes the scent out farther to create a bigger zone. That's the reason why it's called air zone, is we're using the air in a zone. And then also too, to last for a longer service period. So lasting for at least that 90-day quarterly service. So those were the goals when we started out on this product. It's been quite the journey to get to this point. The science behind Airzonics is we take a proprietary blend of complex ester compounds crafted to replicate natural scent of flavors like chicken, peanut butter, or chocolate. However, the food flavors that we're putting into Airzonics and fusing into our proprietary blend of plastic, are not actually foods. Chemistry, there's no food protein in it. It's a very unique product in that sense. A single cap will slowly release the scent into the air for up to 90 days as the lighter scent compounds naturally migrate away from the cap. This material is built to hold the oils that we put into it and slowly release it. We have a very defined, we have a very defined manufacturing process that's very difficult to do, that allows us to pack the food flavor smell into Airzonics, which makes for a great active air technology. And we are actively monitoring for rodents. And the difference between ours and actual food is obviously that ours lasts for 90 days and it's not actual food. It's super easy to use and very mess free. So some of the features is that it is a proprietary technology. And again, it's non-food based. It is a non-food based allergen free formulation, meaning there's no food allergens to it because it is not food. It's a chemistry that replicates the smell of food. It doesn't mold or attract insects. And we've had this in the field for some time now. We have proven the peanut butter chocolate and the chicken to be very effective in snap traps. And also too, as well as in wildlife. People are using them in wildlife trapping, both flavors, both peanut butter chocolate and the chicken, again, because of that active air technology where we're getting out the scent in a big way and monitoring for rodents. Features: highly targeted application. It's a universal cap design, and again, it's a non-toxic product. So we've designed this for work in most snap traps in our Easy Cat. So for the clamshell snap traps that are out there, works great. For the kill bar snap traps that are out there, works great. On the wooden snap traps, you do have to take a knife and trim it. But if you do that, it works extremely well in the wooden snap traps too as well. It just takes a little bit of effort once you get the cap to use it in a wooden snap trap. We are making it in 2 different sizes, and right now currently 2 different flavors with some more flavors to come. We have a 12 pack and a 36 pack of both the peanut butter chocolate and the chicken. The peanut butter chocolate is a very pleasant scent. The chicken is very pungent, and so it probably you use that in environments where the consumer is not overly close to the chicken scent, because while it is very it's a great product, it does have a really good chicken smell. You can smell it for quite a ways away. So both of these products do have a very big zone that they push the scent out into, both flavors. So I went through that one pretty quick. That product is a product that we'll continue to play with. This is a new category in our industry for the most part. Again, there's some products in Europe that have been out, but for us in the U.S., it's a new space at VM Products. And then for the way that we have done the development process and the manufacturing process is very unique. To my knowledge, nobody else is doing it the way that we're doing it, especially the kind of scent that we're pushing out over the 90 days that matches the service profile of the pest management professional. So that's the Airzonics product. Again, very successful so far with monitoring of both rodents and in wildlife. So that's Airzonics. Real quick, we've got our team, which I'm very proud of the people that work for VM, very appreciative of everybody that works for us. We have our corporate team and as well as our sales team. Of course, we have a deep manufacturing team, which I can't put everybody in here on the manufacturing, engineering, et cetera. But we're very proud of the team that we've got. And so we have also put out that we are giving away free samples of these products. So you scan the QR code, which I'm going to leave this up. If you scan the QR code, then we'll get that information. We'll send out samples We booked this call for an hour, and I know that everybody's busy, but I felt like with these products there would be a lot of questions, and so I've left plenty of time for us to go through the Q&A process. Both of these being unique products and somewhat different than anything that's on the market today currently. So we open this up for questions, and I can continue to further expand on benefits and features based on the questions.
Ethan, thanks for a great informative presentation. And so with that, yes, I'm going to go over to see what questions have come in. And folks, you still have an opportunity to submit your questions through the chat feature if you would like. But here's a question asking, what stops the rodents from chewing the station before entering it, and has it happened in test trials?
When you say the Easy Cat,
Yes.
so the answer to that would be, nothing. Obviously, if the rodent wants to chew through plastic, whether it's mice or rats, indoor, outdoor, I think we've all seen examples of that. The design of the station is to really get the rodent on the run. So as they're moving from one location to the other up against that wall, which, if as you read, and the lessons we've learned with mice and doing rodent control, especially as it pertains to mice, they do like those walls. They run those walls, and so the goal with the Easy Cat is to get them running, and then dropping into the middle of that glue board. We have a significant amount of product tested, but we don't have enough in the field to say that they wouldn't chew on the plastic. Now, what we have seen though is that once they're on the glue board, they're on the glue board. So once they're in the station, because of the way that the ramp system drops them onto the middle of the glue board, we have not seen any issue once they're in the station. But again, for them, if they're not on the glue board, if they're chewing on the plastic, we haven't seen that, but that's obviously something that could happen.
Thanks, Ethan. The next question is asking how easy is it to contaminate the product?
Which product? The Easy Cat?
They didn't say.
Yeah, I'm gonna say so on the Easy Cat. I don't know contaminate with what that would be, but it is a very durable plastic on the Easy Cat, and it's a material that is used in a broad spectrum of other applications. And so I would say contaminating the plastic would be fairly difficult on the Easy Cat. As it pertains to Airzonics, the contamination, I don't know what that would be either. The product's designed to last for 90 days. And the oils that are in it that we have infused into it, they are in the product. And so adding something to it takes a process. So once it leaves my facility and we're not in the process of making the product, getting anything else into it would be very difficult to do. So I would say on both cases, whether it's Airzonics or Easy Cat, that would be a very specific situation if it was even possible at all.
Ethan, the next question is asking, I'm concerned that with the flavor attractant, it may attract a child or pet. What is the danger, if any?
I mean, I think you want to make sure that if you're using the snap trap that it's being used responsibly and not in a place that's easy for somebody to get to, but children, pets, or adults. But it is a food flavor. It's the same type of food flavors that go into food that we eat on a daily basis. So it is important that you are responsible in the way that you place the product, because to the point, it is something that would be something that you would normally smell in any pantry in America. So place it in appropriate spots out of reach of children, pets, and non-targets.
All right. The next question's asking, you mentioned monitoring with Arizonics several times. Is there digital technology that is triggered with notification, or what other form of monitoring are you referring to?
in the category of monitoring. So if you look at this category, it is a monitor. If you look at I'm not referring to digital pest monitoring. That being said, in the digital pest monitoring world, regardless of what product you're using, this product is a very valuable tool, regardless of manufacturing, if you are doing a remote monitoring program. But I'm just referring to monitoring in the category of rodent monitors.
The next question is asking, how difficult is it to change the glue board?
Easy, very easy. Open the lid from right to left. That's why we have the push lock. So that's very easy in an odd to the account or a commercial account where you don't need to use the key. And then from the places that I've been, where we've been in the field with technicians, depending on what's on the glue board, you hit the glue board with your flashlight, pull it up, and it pops right out. So the resistance is enough to keep the glue board from bouncing around in the station if the station's being moved, but it's not locked into place in such a way that it's difficult for the technician to quickly pull the glue board out of the station. It's a great question because we worked hard. We worked hard on that blend to get the glue board to stay in the station, but at the same time make it very fast to service.
All right, Ethan, the next question is asking, can arizonics be used with a rodenticide?
Um, it could be. It would need to be used in a way that it's, not exposed, in my opinion. Meaning that, like in our Easy Secured, we have our tray, and you could put it underneath the tray as would be an option. But obviously the rodenticide is the target of the rodent, and so that has come up several times. Is there some validity to using it in a station? There probably is. Currently, there's no studies that have been done around that, but there's definitely an opportunity to do that. I would just say that, once the rodent got to arizonics and realized it wasn't food, then, you would just want to make sure that the arizonics is concealed from the rodent getting to actually the cap if you're using it with rodenticide.
All right, Ethan, here's another one asking, in terms of using the Easy Cap for roof rats, does it have holes to be able to strap vertically on warehouse racking systems or overhead pipes?
So on roof rats, I don't know if this would be the best product for that. We have our Snap Seeker, which is designed for roof rats. So we have multiple, we have opportunities for zip ties in a couple different directions. So that being said, if you were using this on a runway, you can use. There's two holes that the snap traps lock into place, and those can be used for zip ties potentially. But we did not put a lot of effort into zip ties for this station because we did not intend for it to really be used for roof rats. It was more monitoring slash multi-catch, audited accounts, commercial accounts, garages, etc. But there is an opportunity to use zip ties, and it would be either using the one of two things. One is the holes for the mouse snap traps, and also we have two push outs for anchors if this was ever used outside, that are in line with the holes for the snap traps, where you could knock those out and use two snap traps. If you wanted to put it on a pipe chase, you could do that. So designed primarily for smaller mice and maybe juvenile rats, but you could definitely use it on a pipe chase if you wanted to do that. And would just the ability to do that with zip ties is there.
And here's a question, actually a couple of questions regarding the glue boards. What is the shelf life of the glue on the glue board, and will generic glue boards work in Easy Cat?
So the shelf life, I don't have a real number for you on that. I will say again, the way we designed it, and because the ramps nest into the base, we can seal that glue board into the station, and so you are going to get an extended use out of the glue board relative to dust and debris. So you're going to get extended use. I don't know the exact time on that. However, we've had product in the field for now about 4 months, and we've had good feedback on the durability of the glue board in the station. And then yes, any TC glue board that's out there, which there's probably 3 or 4 different ones that are out there, will fit. They're all the exact same size. So as long as the glue board is a TC glue board, which they're typically termed like a 72 TC, it'll fit into the station.
Another glue board question is there something to activate the release of the scent at the time of deployment, or is it constantly releasing the scent?
You talking about the Arizonics. The Arizonics is constantly releasing. Once you take it out of the bag, it releases, and it starts with a slow decline, kind of like a almost like a small hill, and you're going slowly, 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 and then as you get into that 90-day range, it starts to drop off pretty fast. So once you take it out of the bag and start using it, it's immediately working.
Got lots of questions here for you, Ethan. Another one's asking, is the Arizonics available for purchase yet?
It is. It is in the Viserys system and ready to go. So both the 12 and the 36 are in the system. Be a little patient with us. We're just now getting both these products to market. So, obviously Viserys has, 65 locations or so throughout the United States. We haven't got them into every location as of yet, but it is available. So it may take a extra few days to get it to you, but they're both available and ready to go when you want to put an order in.
Um, Here's one asking, is a glue board reusable?
I think the glue board is usable as long as it's still a good glue board. It's not covered with, insects, rodents, dust, debris, etc. And I think that all just depends on company protocol, whether it's replaced every time or if it's still a glue board, good glue board, you leave it. That would be up to, I think, company protocol and how, what situation you're using it in and what that company was choosing to do.
All right, the next question's asking, what are the measurement specs for the Easy Cat?
You know what? That is a great question. It is on our website. I don't have the exact measurements, but if you look at the 72 TC layout, it fits it pretty tight. So it's slightly bigger than a 72 TC and just under 3 inches tall to fit into that skid profile. So it's not more than 3 inches tall, and it's dimmed out basically the same size as a TC plus the plastic around it.
All right, so here's the next one asking, how does the Easy Cat get the rodent into the box faster?
Again, rodents like to be on the run, and so if you're in a teeter-totter format, they have to slow down to do the investigation process. In this trap, the Easy Cat is designed to catch the mouse running directly into the station and onto the glue board. So it's a lack of barrier to entry to get into the station. So is the primary way that you get that rodent into the station faster.
All right, lots of interest. Here's another one, Ethan, asking, do Arizonics caps come with the Easy Cat or are they sold separately?
They're sold separately.
All right. You love those easy questions, don't you?
Yeah, that one's easy.
Here's another one. How is the Easy Cat better than a traditional multi-catch?
Well, so I mean, if I go back to how we started in this, I mean, we've worked on and done over the years. I use a lab here in the United States. It's fairly well known in the manufacturing community, and we've done testing on multiple types of teeter totters, speed of entry into different types of stations. If you look at our Easy Force and some of the benefits and features that are in it, and the clear plastic and the venting of the plastic and the commitment wall and the things that we did with that were all lessons that we learned from all of the testing, the lab testing that we did to develop that product, and then of course to this Easy Cat. With the Easy Cat, our single two biggest benefit or differences are three things. One is we have no working parts. So if you're in an audited account, the working parts can obviously, if they're not working, can be an issue. Secondly, is that if you look at the research that we did over the years, and it's in a lab setting, so meaning that you're in a lab environment, but it relies on the curiosity of the mouse to get into the multi-catch. And what we're doing with this product is we're relying on the movement of the mouse to draw them into the station and drop them onto the middle of the glue board. So there's those two things, and then again, the durability of it. I think everybody would say that durability of this category is durability, and then sharp edges are two things that have been a consistent complaint that could be improved. And so we wanted the durability, the no sharp edges, and again, the fact that you have no working parts in an audited account, and then most importantly that you're using the mouse on the run and not relying on curiosity of the mouse to enter the station or the teeter-totter system, the repeater.
All right, here's the next question for you, Ethan. Is Arizonics better than the liquid baits used with snap traps?
We believe it is, and again, it's because we're using actual food flavor that is used in the food world, and that food flavor is infused into that Arizonics in such a way that we're packing the maximum amount of scent, and then we actually push it out farther than any actual food can push it out. So because it's infused into the plastic, we push that scent out in a way that actual food can't push it out. So we believe that to be true. The customers that we've got testing it are giving us great feedback. That's why we're giving some free samples in hopes that obviously anybody who wants to go test it can learn that for themselves.
All right, here's one about Easy Cat asking, what's the durability? Obviously, it would have to be shielded if used in some warehouse situations, but is it reasonably durable for those environments?
Yeah, so the it is extremely durable, both in engineering design, and then uh, we are using a material that has an extremely high tensile strength. And so this material is used in things like 5-gallon paint buckets, for industrial paint use in the industrial concrete world. So the material itself that we've picked is a extremely durable material. We did that on purpose so that we knew that this was something that was a need in this category, is the durability. So are there places where it could get destroyed? Absolutely. Forklifts are obviously stronger than almost anything out there. But in the vast majority of scenarios, the durability of this trap will speak for itself.
All right, the next question's asking, are the traps water resistant?
They're not water resist. Well, a little bit. I mean, again, we put water in this in mind, in that if you look at, if you get the samples, if you buy the product, you'll see that we've raised the glue board off the ground, so it's not flat. You have an elevation of about somewhere in the neighborhood of a little less than a quarter of an inch, because the ramps are obviously dropping the rodent or the insect onto the glue board. And so we do have the 2 holes in the bottom of the station for the snap traps to lock into place, but the water has to be pretty high before it gets to that. There are no vents in the front of the station to allow water in the front to get in. So I think from a water getting to the glue board relative to any other product that's on the market, it's going to do great. Are there going to be times when water gets to the glue board? Yes, but is it water resistant? We did design in a way to try to keep water off the glue board, as we know that is something that's important in the field.
All right, another question is asking, will you have additional Arizonic scents in the future?
We are working on probably 5 other scents currently. Yes. So, and we're actually going to be doing small batch scents too as well. So in the next 6 months or so, we'll be adding a small batch platform. If there's certain situations, certain clients that require uniqueness, we will be adding that. But yeah, we are going to be adding more scents as we move forward. And again, in wildlife, there's a lot of opportunity in wildlife. Wildlife will grow sooner than probably the other scents. But yes, we will be adding scents.
Well, I think we've gone through all the questions that have come through the chat feature. Since we do have a few minutes still, if you'd like to ask a live question, all you need to do is raise your hand in the control panel, and then I'll unmute your line. So if you would like to ask Ethan a live question, feel free to raise your hand.
The last thing I will say while if we don't have a live question is, we know it's been an inflation year, and so we did decide at the end of this year to run a nice promo on two of our better selling products, both the Easy Block and the Easy Secured. So that's running through the end of the month. So anybody on the call that is buying either Easy Block or Easy Secured, this is non-private label, but just Easy Secureds. We are running a great promo this month.
Ethan, we do have a live question. So, John, I'm going to unmute your line, and then you'll also have to unmute your line. So if you'll just hit your microphone, feel free to ask your live question.
Yeah, I was just wondering, would it be beneficial to buy the Arizonics in bulk? What's the shelf life of
Um, the shelf life in a bag is years. Once you open the bag and continually expose it to air, not just like for, if you open the bag for 30 seconds and pull one of your 12 or 36 out, that's not doing anything to it. But once you place it out in the open air, you've got that 90 days, maybe 120 days. But if they're in a sealed bag, they have an extended shelf life. And I guess in bulk, it would depend on the scenario. So depending on who you are, John, and what you're using it for, we would just have to take that into account. If you were going through so many of them that you wanted them in buckets, we would obviously address that on a case by case basis. Our packaging currently is designed. Our packaging currently, which I'm going to go back to, is designed for simplicity of shipping, giving it to a technician, etc. But there is opportunity for bigger bulk if that is so desired or needed.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Is that it, Chris? We got any more?
Yes, bear with me one second, Ethan. I'm scrolling up to get to that person. So Daniel has a question for you. Daniel, I've just unmuted your line, and if you can unmute your microphone, feel free to ask your question.
After the trap has been sprung, can you reuse the Arizonics, or is it expected to be thrown away with the dead mouse?
Oh, no, you're absolutely. Oh, you know what? That's a really good point. You just used the word mouse. I did not say this. The Arizonics currently is a rat version. The mouse version is coming in the next 4 months or so. If you're going to use it and for mice, you're going to have to trim it. The material is very flexible, so you can do that. But no, it is absolutely reusable. If you're doing, in fact, I've got one of my big testers out in the West Coast catching 10, 12, 15 rats a day, and uses our Easy Snap Seeker in almost all of his accounts. He's reusing the caps. And again, for 90, 120 days, product works great. At about that 90-day point, it starts to drop off in its reach and its scent profile. But during that time frame, you can use it, over and over again.
Now, when you rinse it off, would you jeopardize the scent at all if you had it under running water too long or whatever, or is it just it holds that flavor that long?
So we haven't done a lot of tests with water, but we have done some. You should have no issues with that.
Okay. Well, thanks.
You're welcome. And I just say for the people on the line before you go, Chris, if you are, we were surprised the results we were getting with wildlife. So both on the peanut butter chocolate and the chicken, we've had really good results with wildlife. So if anybody on the call does, work with wildlife, what they're doing with it is putting a hole in the top of the cap and then running a wire in it and then wiring it to the bottom of the cage, 2 or 3 of them, in that wildlife environment. So that was just, being, the technicians or the pest control companies that were testing it for us, just said, wow, I wonder if we could use this for wildlife. And so they did. And the feedback to this point has been exceptional.
Ethan, we do have another live question. So Mark,
Okay.
I've just unmuted your phone. So if you'll feel free to ask your question.
Hey, Ethan. Yeah, Mark Bramhall here. The question I have is, I know I emailed you this question before, it's a little different topic, but since a lot of my customers are in the upper Midwest, they deal with a lot of ice and snow. And you already have a couple stations that you have a side opening key, the Easy Versa and the Easy Snap Seeker. Is there any talk of having the Easy secured with a side opening key? Because that's a huge issue for some customers in the upper Midwest, especially.
Yeah. Well, two things on that. Two things on that. One is the answer is yes. It's something that we are looking at. As everybody knows about us, we take everything that comes in seriously and we look at it. So that is on our R&D list. And then we do have a key that we developed for that upper Midwest area that allows for, it's our ice key. I think I told you we're sending you a sample of it, that we have if the customer needs them, so that we can, get any kind of ice or debris off the station when it is an issue. So, but that is on our list of to-do things.
Okay, thanks.
All right, folks. Well, I think we've answered all the questions. I don't see any more raised hands. So on behalf of Ethan and myself, we want to thank you for joining us today, and we wish you happy holidays. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.